Do, 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 do. Alright, so I'm starting with spooky music. Hi, my name is Elf. I'm making a visual novel in 30 days. This is the day number 25. And remember when I said I wasn't going to make the epilogue in the 30 days? Yeah, I did the epilogue. Yeah. I showed a little bit of this in the last stream. I didn't work on every part, obviously, but I put the basics of the epilogue here. And I will talk about the background here. What's the idea? I had some insight recently. Actually, let me go back. I'm gonna save here, actually. There we go. Oh, I had to put italics on this. Alright, so talking about the background here. So this is at first I thought about making a interrogation room, you know. In my head it makes sense, like I don't know anything about police procedure, but in my head when this is more or less based on what I seen like series of TV, so and also me badly remember things, so I could be wrong, but I every time I imagine a cop go to like make a report, they write the report and then they talk to their supervisor about their report on an interrogation room. I'm probably wrong. The more I think about it, the less this makes sense, to be honest. Uh, but uh, that's why I thought at first to make uh, this scene an interrogation room. However, the more I think about, not only doesn't really make sense for cops to do that, maybe they do, I don't know, but the people in here are not cops. They are oops, oops. There we go. The people here are the SP Unity. They are like the Men in Black or the X Files if they had a budget. Uh, they're not even like a branch of the FBI, although they started in the story of the setting. They started as a branch of the FBI. Eventually, they became their own government agency. So they are like the CIA and the FBI. There's the SP Unity, or sometimes just called the Unity, or the Men in Black as a more derogatory term, or also a term to intimidate people. But basically, the more I think about the less being an interrogation room makes sense. The more I think of it, the more I think it should be actually something like a room for psychic research. For I took this is images from Wikipedia. There's this one there where it's showing a guy in front of a lamp, and this kind of vibe I think is actually interesting. This is a room, and there's like a chair with curtain here. Ooh, mysterious. And this is I imagine a similar room, at least a similar setup in a different angle, and the quality here is fucking atrocious, but it's fine. But what I was thinking is have something like this for the room where the agents reporting, because since they are agency that deals with psychic phenomena and weird stuff, instead of being an interrogation room, which I mean kind of makes sense with the Men in Black stuff to interrogate their own agents, but I thought, what if they are doing that? But also, and that's and uh, the main thing they say they are doing is like evaluating if they were affected by any phenomena that could cause harm, especially in the long term. So they're going more like an examination than interrogation. At least that's the premise, because it's technically both. So for the background of the epilogue uh, on this scene, I'm thinking instead of having being interrogation room, being like this type of research room for psychic phenomena. That way, the camera can show like there's a light that's shining in the face of the agent. Like here, there will be like actually, let me show on here. There would be actually. I'm gonna make it. There's actually a new layer here. So my idea is to actually make something more or less like this. There's like a shining light, uh, like a shining light here, you know, and this is where the agents would sit down to like talk, and this light would be shined down. There would be some machines or something like that to measure something like psychic signatures or something like that, because there are machines that can measure psychic energy, but they are like bulky, expensive, inaccurate, but they exist. The technology uh, about this kind of stuff not super advanced, uh, but that's the actually my idea. Instead of have the irrigation room, I can have something like this. And I'm not sure this is actually interrogation room that I found. I was going to use this, but actually not going to use anymore. I'm going to use something like these two images especially. Um, because in part the the men in black are actually the superiors. They are actually measuring any disturbance in the mind and in the, at least in the brain, the body, to see if anything was altered, or if they, or what kind of damage was sustained, to see what kind of rest the agent needs, but also monitor if they are being mind controlled and are going and had been turned into something like a Trojan horse or something like that, or if they're carrying a spirit that follow them for some reason. That way, they can be clean of the either quarantine, clean, or dealt with the situation, instead of allowing an agent to just wreak havoc as anyway. Instead of letting the agents take a lot of damage and not recover properly, or just cause damage to the organization itself, which is the actual part that the institution cares about. But I think it's a nice thing, to think about this kind of stuff, because if you really think about interrogation room, I mean, kind of makes sense, because they are technically the SPU needs to explain a little bit more. I don't remember if I explained this in another stream, but basically, they are a government agency that, actually, I have to explain a bit more context of the setting first. I talk about this in the introduction video of the Nocturnal Dance. You can watch this like 5 minutes and like a minute and a half, and it's like just a little things to put people on the mood. So it's really like 3 3.5 minutes of uh lore, just to introduce the idea of the setting. But basically, in the 50s, people the general public found out that, not just general public, everyone found out evidence of psychic powers actually existing, and with that come with the realization there are people that have superpowers. So the psychic energy seems to cause people to have superpowers of some kind, and with that, uh, certain governments of all around the world basically created agencies to deal with this kind of stuff, the psych and paranormal things. And as such, what happens basically in the United States was created the SP Unity, which is the what I'm calling the Men in Black, more or less. And officially, they have like a face to the public where they are investigators of paranormal and psychic phenomena, and they deal with people that have powers and spirits and strange stuff. Um, but they are an organization that have layers to them. They don't have how do I say, they show themselves as like just investigators. They're officially they are not the police. They can't like invade your house or like arrest you. Again, officially, unofficially, you know, behind the curtains and you know more hidden of the public way, they do that. They do arrest people. They do take people to laboratories and secret research centers, and they sometimes kidnap or kill people. They do a lot of black ops operation, black do a lot of black ops. They do very shady things, but not even people of this agency know everything that's happening. The more clearance or higher up you are, the more you know of the stuff that is happening. So a lot of people that work there doesn't even know what's happening. So the more I think about this kind of stuff, the more I think showing the detective in the epilogue in the interrogation room could make sense, but I think it makes more sense if I make like a lab that or something that looks like a lab for research instead of interrogation room itself. Actually, let me no. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do for the epilogue. At least the background of the epilogue, and I managed to finish before I was before this thing started. I managed to finish one more sprite. This is John, the director of the movie that got kidnapped. So with that, I have two sprites: the Nohan, the main actor, John, the director, and I'm making Isabella, which is she's kind of like I forgot what's the term for her profession. I have it written down here actually. Um, advisor and secretary. Yeah, it's just a kind of advisor of the studio. Uh, so yeah, I'm making that. I'm gonna before I make another sprite, I'm gonna actually work on the background because I just have had this idea of the being a room for examination instead of interrogation room, and I'm gonna work on that. If I can say so myself, I think it's a good idea. And it actually paints a little bit more of the setting instead of them being just like a shitty organization. They are, but they also like are in part investigators and scientists trying to figure out this thing that doesn't appear to make sense and follow every law of physics, just some of them. But yeah, this is what I got so far. The Now the entire story, everything, including the epilogue, it's written, it's finished, it's done, and all I gotta do is finish the sprites and the CGs in the background, in this final background, and that's it. So every placeholder it's in place where it should be, every sound, every music's in place, the story is written. I'm gonna revise some things just to make sure things make sense, and look for grammatical errors. Grammar isn't my strong suit, but I'm gonna try my best. And The 18th of April is gonna be the last day I'm gonna work on this like every day in this challenge itself. So in the 19th of April I'm gonna release the game regardless of the state it is in. But the way that things are going, of course I'm not gonna finish everything to the 18th to the 19th of April, but I'm gonna keep working on it because so far it's actually been fun to work on this. Like I'm still, I'm gonna be honest, I'm still iffy drawing characters. Like I'm proud of what I done. It's not bad. Like the vector layer and the line tool here are making major work for me, but I think it's decent. No, but I had a lot more fun and easier time making backgrounds like this one and this one. Uh, so yeah. Oh, and I thought about the cover because when you open the game, it's just like a bunch of purple colors. I'm gonna make like the my idea is make like the studio upside down, like you looking upside down, and there's a web in front of the in the foreground. That's how it's said. There's a web in the foreground, so it's make like there's the studio upside down, like things are wrong, and there's a web with ninja spider. Oh, I love symbolism, so symbolism's my passion. But yeah, uh, that's about it. Actually, that I have for today. Um, didn't manage to make too much things today because uh, yesterday was not a good day. It was a very bad day, and it's like started bad, then turned a little bit better, just improving, and then turned for way fucking worse, and I'm still like recovering from that. But at least I'm excited to work on this, and honestly, I'm very proud that this how this project is coming together, and I'm very proud that I managed to make everything myself. I never programming in Python or use RenPy before, and it's very easy. It's the first time and I that I actually started making backgrounds like this one. Actually, I'm gonna show the super evil things. Like this one, I'm super proud how this one specifically turned out. The gradient of the shadows to make like the street darker, and the trees are a specific brush that I have. Um, let me show. Like as you can see, it's a brush, so I didn't paint the trees because that would be painful. So I just use a brush, which actually came out great, to be honest. Uh, but yeah, I did before this project work on some perspective studies with the line tool. This is why some of the perspectives here are good. You know, like this dark alley has a very good perspective. This doesn't have much perspective, but yeah, some of these have a good perspective, and also I have really good references. This one I don't actually need this. Um, but I never colored the backgrounds, and actually coloring everything black and white and red made like this contrast is so good. Like okay, yes, I made it. Of course, I'm biased, but still, if I can say so myself. Yeah, that's the plan so far. Uh, for it was so far has been an experience of like a lot of experimentation, trying things out, see what works, what doesn't. Uh, a lot of things I did on Rampy for the sound effects and transitions and stuff was like I barely read the documentation. It was like try and error to figure out how to make it work the way I wanted, and like 95% of the time it came out exactly as I was thinking. 5% was like, it's close enough. It's decent. So yeah, I'm happy with the results so far. So this concludes today's stream, and I want to thank everyone for following me in this journey so far. Did not escape my attention that someone's watching. Hi. Uh, and yeah, I'm gonna work this a little bit more. Hopefully, I can make uh, one more background today. Hopefully, and I see you all tomorrow. And this is the last week I'm working on the challenge, which is very fun and very exciting. So yeah, thank you for watching, and see you all tomorrow.